What's going on, guys? Luke22SV here, and welcome to the 12th round of Season 3 of the Career Mode today, here for the Hungarian Grand Prix with some upgrades coming into this race. And off the back of a 4th place result in Germany, we're coming into Hungary and hoping to do a better time this weekend. Verstappen, of course, are just now 4 points behind us in the title fight as well. So we've got work to do this weekend because Verstappen is really on form at the moment. But unfortunately, we're going to have to take an engine penalty as well. We've just run into our 4th allocation of the internal combustion engine, which means we're going to be starting a little bit lower down the grid than we would have liked today. And back on the steering wheel as well for this one as well. So got the confidence back up to use the steering wheel in both the qualifying and the race as well. So yeah, I was actually did a little comparison time between myself on the wheel and myself on the controller, and I ended up being actually quicker on the wheel, so it's looking good actually. Just need to get the consistency up with it. But yeah, without further ado, here we go then. Here's our best lap so far in the session. It's going to be on our last lap of the last lap as well. So currently down in P8 though, so the pace really hasn't been strong for me around Hungary. I'm not sure why that is, but my teammate's in 1st place. So at the moment we'll be down in P18, so we really need to get an improved lap time up and buck our ideas up here. But at the moment we're down on our first time, so it's not looking too good at the moment. We're down in P8, just ahead of our, well, the amount that we replaced at Red Bull was Pierre Gasly. Of course, this time last season we did our last race for Alfa Romeo, and doing a little jump over the curb there. We're just now a little bit up on our time now, so maybe in Sector 2 we can get some more performance out of this car, because yeah, the first sector wasn't too great, but yeah, Ricciardo ahead of us, so setting actually a purple Sector 2 there, so you know the pace isn't terrible. It's just some parts of the track where we're just not getting it hooked up, so for whatever reason that is, and we're actually almost down again, but back up again through the penultimate corner and then through the last corner. Hopefully we can gain a few positions, because at the moment we're going to be down in P18, but as we cross the line it's only going to be good enough for P6, so 16th place looks like that's where we'll be starting from the race then. So yeah, work to do again in this race. So yeah, we've got made it hard for ourselves. Devon Butler in 2nd, Lando Norris in 5th. So Norris again not really performing well in qualifying, so we'll have to see how well he does in the race. But Verstappen obviously on pole position, that's the last thing we would have wanted. He's now looking very likely to take the lead of the championship going into Belgium. So down in 6th place, we need to 16th place as it comes to the race. We've really got to perform to really keep this championship going in our favour, because if it starts to swing in Verstappen's favour, he could definitely be looking strong for the rest of the season. But of course, Belgium and Italy are 2 of my strong circuits coming up next, so hopefully we'll have to be able to do well there. But at the moment we have to try and focus on getting a good result in Hungary, which is a track where we haven't really done too well at all, particularly last season. We completely bottled that race, which is probably why we end up leaving Alfa Romeo pretty much in the end. But here's the grid order then, the official grid order then, after all the penalties and everything that have taken place. So of course Verstappen still on pole position, he hasn't had to take any penalties yet. Butler alongside him, Hamilton 3rd, Weber 4th in the Alfa Romeo. So there comes Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz in the approved Renault, they're looking pretty strong now. Ricciardo, Russell, both Renaults in the top 10 with Giovinazzi in 9th, then Gasly, Stroll, Bottas, Vettel, disappointing for Ferrari, Albon, Perez, myself, and then Magnussen, Hulkenberg, and Leclerc and Kvyat. So Ferrari really haven't got a good car coming into this race. I don't know why that is. They've really just not got any downforce perhaps in that Ferrari. But anyway, we come on to start this race then with those 5 red lights coming on to start this race from P16, and it's a poor start immediately. Perez getting a hell of a start there just ahead of us. And of course we haven't really mastered the starts yet on this wheel. Of course with the throttle and everything as well, we have to manage no traction control. But anyway, we dive down into the first corner. Front wings getting chopped off every car. We don't go into the first corner, and the Toro Rosso of Albon turns in on us, and we lost a chunk of front wing there. Very well, thank you very much, Albon. It was very nice of you to do that. We dived down the inside of Vettel though, and we've made contact, and we've been spun round, and we've been hit by about every other car. I think Albon hit us again, so Albon's obviously in kamikaze mode at the moment as we've just started this race, and the safety car is out, so now we've got a chance to actually replace that front wing. We tried a lunge on Vettel from a long way back, but Albon taking a chunk of our front wing off. Thanks a lot, Albon, for doing that. But now we've got a chance to pit this lap as well now. So thanks very much to that. But yeah, maybe we can go to the end of this race and perhaps be in a strong position towards the end of this race. So just like in Monaco, it was almost like it was a positive thing happening. Actually just ended up being taken out on the first lap and ended up being able to come into the pits just to get that pit stop out of the way. But of course we're going to have a lot of traffic to deal with, and that will help the likes of Verstappen and Butler make a gap up front. So yeah, we're going to be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. We'll see if anyone else comes into the pits, and we'll end up having a look at what happened at the start of this race, because yeah, that was we just turned into the corner and Albon just decided to turn in on us as if we weren't there. So into the pits then come Magnussen and Albon. So these guys won't have to pit either, so we're going to have to get past these guys. We're actually going to have to get past these guys for position in the end. So Albon and Magnussen into the pits, and we're going to come into the pits with them, and we'll see if we can get out ahead of them as well. But yeah, a disaster for us as we put on the new front wing, medium tyres to the end, just as Albon, so we don't need to run the hards, which is okay. And yeah, out the pits ahead with Magnussen and behind Albon. So we'll have to see what happened at the start then, because yeah, that was just I don't know what Albon was thinking. He just turned in on us from nowhere, and here it is. Then you can see Verstappen there starting from pole position ahead of Devon Butler, the two championship rivals. He looks like he got a better start than him. But there we go, we're diving into the first corner, so we had the right to do. We had a gap there, and then the gap was there for Albon. He just turned in on us. I don't know why he did that. He's lost a bit of front wing himself, I think. But yeah, a little bit annoyed by that. We just decided to dive down the inside of Vettel, and a little bit of contact was made, probably too far back. Then Hulkenberg hits us, then Gasly, and then Magnussen runs into the back of Albon, and Leclerc, he was caught up in the back of it as well. So disappointment for Leclerc. Again, he started way back as well. Here's the onboard from Albon. What was he thinking? He ran into the back of the racing point, so I didn't even know about that. So then he just turns in on us, and then he takes a swipe at the Haas as well for good measure. I don't know what came over Albon there. He must have just drunken a bit too much Red Bull before the race, and yeah, there you can see he could have easily avoided that us as well in that Red Bull, but chose not to. He's coming to the pits at the end of this lap as well, so strange one there from Albon. But we're coming into the end. We're actually coming in out. The safety car's coming in at the end of this lap. I need to get my words out of my mouth there, but we're actually behind Magnussen now. I think we actually made a mistake under the safety car, which has put us into the back, which now has left us with more work to do. And yeah, not perfect driving from us, but now's our chance to get past these guys immediately. That Haas shouldn't even be in the top 10 anyway. I don't think even if everyone does make their pit stops and come up behind, I think that Haas is just off the pace by a long shot. So we shouldn't have to worry too much about getting past the Haas. Should be fairly quickly be able to get past the Haas as well. But now that the racing has resumed, can we get past him quickly? We dive down the inside into turn 1, and yes, the answer is we have got past him immediately, and dispatched with Kevin Magnussen just like that. So got him out of the way, and now our next one is Albon, and that's all we really have to overtake here. Is Alex Albon, and then we just have to try and get a decent amount of pace so we end up in front of Verstappen when he comes out of the pits. But yeah, it's easier said than done really. There could be a little bit of slow pace in this traffic ahead of us. Of course, Hulkenberg lost a bit of front wing and he hasn't pitted yet, so there you can see just ahead of us he's got one car and a Ferrari behind. I think it's Williams Kvyat actually. Yeah, Kvyat's been held up a little bit here, and we're on this little train, and Leclerc is going to be a little bit annoyed by this as well in the Ferrari. So yeah, we've got to get past these guys really quickly, and Albon as well. If we can get past him, that'll put us in a net P1 pretty much, unless of course the likes of Verstappen and everything hit as well. But you can see everyone's getting held up massively here by Hulkenberg, who should have come in the pits really. I mean, if he's got front wing damage, you might as well just take the pain of having a pit stop and losing a couple of positions, especially when you're in a Haas, which is slow enough already. But of course we're getting held up already here, and we're trying to look for a way past Alexander Albon, who's trying to look for a way past Leclerc, and they're all trying to look for a way past Hulkenberg. And in fact, Leclerc's got past a pair of them now, so Leclerc taking the initiative there. Yeah, dilly-dallying and not being able to get past Hulkenberg just yet, but he's lost a position to Leclerc, who will hopefully have some better race pace in that Ferrari than we've seen in qualifying. So now moving on through turn 3 and turn 4, because we're coming up to turn 4 now. Hulkenberg's now just got Albon and myself behind, and now Magnussen as well. So Hulkenberg probably be finishing last in this race unless he's very lucky. But yeah, now we're looking very close to getting past Albon here on the back of Albon. So yeah, looking for a nice opportunity to get past Alex Albon, and that will put us, of course, in a net P1. So if we can get past Hulkenberg and Albon, for Albon to be able to get past Hulkenberg, at least we'll get a little bit of distance between Albon as well. But that's what we're trying to do here. But at the moment, we're getting so badly held up and just trying to get past Albon. DRS will be enabled at next lap, so that should make things easier for us. But of course, at the moment, Magnussen's going to be looking interested as well. And yeah, we need to get past these guys immediately if we want to be able to come out ahead of Verstappen when he pits as well. So you can see Verstappen heading towards the end of turn 1 already. So he's got the pit straight. He's pretty much pit straight ahead of us as we start lap 6, which is when we were meant to pit, I think. And Albon now is going past Hulkenberg. So Albon's making a move past Hulkenberg. DRS is now enabled. We've got to get past Hulkenberg quickly as possible now. Otherwise, we're going to lose performance to Albon. And he's going to be in a good position, Albon is, ironically, after his kamikaze into turn 1. I don't know. I wonder if he's calmed down any more after that one. But yeah, strange driving from Albon. But look at the exit Hulkenberg got out of turn 3 compared to us. We're looking for a move past him now. We're going to do it into turn 4. A risky move, but one that had to be made and one that has been made. And now we're up into P18. Magnussen has got past him as well, or they're going side by side. So the teammate thing to do would to let the Magnussen go, and Hulkenberg should really be in the pits, to be honest. I don't know why he's out with a damaged front wing, but yeah, there you go. Anyway, Magnussen has got past him, so now our next target is Albon. And actually, we're probably caught Albon a bit vulnerable here because he's got no one ahead of him, and we're going to have DRS. So thanks to getting past Hulkenberg quickly, we can now get past Albon. Hopefully, if we can get DRS around the last couple of corners. We've got DRS on the first, or the start finish straight, and then towards to the run down to turn 2 as well. So if we can get past him quickly here, we could be into a good position here, as a few cars are coming out of the pits as well. So we'll see where we are in comparison to them as we get DRS, and surely this is going to be an easy move on Albon. So you can see he's ahead of Hamilton, we're ahead of Hamilton, and Magnussen is 2 at this point. We go to the outside. Can we get past Albon on the outside into turn 1? Yes, we can. He's still there, but this time he's racing us fairly, and well, he tries to fight back on the outside. We lock up a little bit to give him a little room as possible, locking up there, which is a little bit of a payback towards the antics he gave us towards us on the first lap. But anyway, moving on to the end of the next lap, you can see Verstappen coming out there just behind us, so we've managed to get ahead of Verstappen. He was leading the race, and that means we're in a net P1, and of course the only person that's left to stop is Vettel. So yeah, we're leading this race now effectively, so this is a perfect scenario for us. We can extend our championship lead again as things stand, but of course Verstappen on fresher tyres, he's got much better pace than us this weekend, so should be expecting him to beat us really, and we'll have him hot on our tail in a matter of corners, I think. So yeah, it's going to be a defensive masterclass if we want to keep this win at this point. But yeah, we've got to watch out for Verstappen because he's right behind us at this point. And you can see he's just out on those fresh tyres. So we've had to be on his tyres since lap 2. He's been on those tyres just since lap 8. So yeah, 6 laps fresher, and a lot quicker and a lot more confident as well, which means Verstappen should really be getting past us immediately. But we're going to do our best to defend from Verstappen, because this is all about the championship at the moment, and if we can stay ahead, this will be significant perhaps for the championship in the long run. As Vettel comes into the pits, we're going to come round and start lap 9, and is Verstappen going to take the lead here? He's going to have DRS, but we have put ourselves into hot lap mode and rich fuel mix, and we're going to try and defend for all it's worth on Verstappen. He goes to the outside. Can we defend his lead against Verstappen? He goes into the lead, but we outbrake him into turn 1, locking up, and a little bit of contact there, a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. Albon's still in third, but we keep the lead for the time being. He's going to be able to launch one up into turn 2. No, he's not. He's a little bit too far back, and we keep the lead for the time being. We're lucky we're at a track like Hungary where it's quite hard to overtake. There's only really 1 or 2 main overtaking spots on this circuit, but now we turn down the ERS just to save it up for the start-finish straight again. But surely it's only a matter of time before Verstappen takes the lead. We're just not that confident in this circuit just yet with the wheel. So yeah, Butler now taking 3rd place. So Butler, our other championship rival, getting into 3rd place, and we've still got half this race left to go. So I mean, if we can keep Verstappen behind for an entire half distance of this race, then we've done a very good job in keeping him behind. But Verstappen, we're just not confident. We just haven't got the pace compared to him. Surely it's only a matter of time before he gets past us. But Devon Butler will be closing in as well, but we have got the pace over the likes of Albon. Of course, we've dropped him by quite a bit, so that's at least promising. We aren't horrendously slow, but yeah, just Verstappen is a lot quicker than us in our own car. So Verstappen, then, is he going to be able to get past here? As he's looking very interested again. We're going to have to try and send him to the outside, because if he goes to the inside, I'm pretty sure the move is going to be done. But he goes to the outside again, and we look up again and run deep into turn 1. Is he going to be able to get the cut back into turn 2? And no, he's just not been able to get the cut back, which is what he probably could have done there. But yeah, we're lucky enough to keep the position again. We run deep into turn 2. We're just almost cracking under pressure here, as he's looking very interested into turn 3. But turn 4, if he tries to move there, it could be an airplane crash and takes both the Red Bulls out of the race, which would make McLaren's very happy, especially Butler, who's just waiting for us to perhaps have a collision. But now moving on to the end of lap 12, we're still ahead of Max Verstappen, but starting at lap 13, and he's so close to us now. And look at Devon Butler, he's close to us as well, and Verstappen's got such a good launch, and he's ahead of us before turn 1. We're going to try and dive down the inside again to stop him coming back, but that's just to no avail, and he takes the lead of this race then, and Butler is behind us. So yeah, that's unfortunately, we just tried so hard and it got so far, but in the end it doesn't even matter. And Butler now is trying to get around us on the outside of turn 3, and yeah, unfortunately for him, he couldn't get the position away from us. And we keep hold of P2 now, but we've got to defend from Butler. We literally have to defend for the entire race now after attacking in the early stages. But since that bit has happened, we've had to now just look behind us. We just have got Butler behind us now, trying to get past us, and we've just got to defend for all it's worth. Because Butler, the McLarens at the moment, they're a little bit behind us in terms of performance, but coming towards the end of the season, McLaren could get a hell of a load of upgrades, and that could put us on the back foot again. So we need to take advantage of the McLarens being a little bit slower than us whilst we can, because McLaren could easily improve in the next few races. But as you can see, Verstappen flying off into the distance. So yeah, unfortunately, just haven't got the pace between ourselves and my teammate today. But it's better than what we could have probably thought at the start of the race, because we were P6 in qualifying, which was probably mean we were about 6th quickest. But at the moment, we've got a good chance of getting a podium here, a good chance of even getting a Red Bull 1-2 if we can keep Verstappen, Butler behind for the last 5 laps of this race. As you can see there, we actually forced him out wide a little bit, and that's kept him off us for a little bit. But again, it's not going to help if we run deep into turn 2, and yeah, he's going to be on our back of us unless we keep making mistakes. But moving on to lap 17, we're down to 4th place at the moment. We've lost a bit of footage there as well, but yeah, we've ended up spinning, and yeah, Hamilton's got past us, Butler's got past us. Of course, Upload Studio has been playing up as well, so yeah, we did end up losing some important footage today, but that is pretty much down to the Upload Studio just letting us down again. So yeah, kind of sparing my blushes seeing us a spin. We just ran off at turn 5 and lost it coming back onto the track, really. But yeah, down to P4. So we've got Albon behind us, who's in P5. He's done a good race for Toro Rosso. Really unexpected performance from him to get into the points, but that was pretty much after the niceties of turn 1 that he did there. But yeah, we're just trying to defend this now, because after that spin, we've lost a bit of confidence there and lost a bit more pace. But we're just trying to keep the gap to Albon to come around to start the last lap of the race, and Verstappen leading, Butler 2nd, Hamilton 3rd. A bit of poor things going on with the Upload Studio. It's just really frustrating to use at the moment to edit videos, and yeah, just things get a little bit lost just because it's just so frustrating to use. But yeah, it's just trying to just put up with it at the moment, and hopefully it can get back to normal soon. Maybe there'll be a better one on the next Xbox, but of course F1 2020 is probably going to be uploaded on the Upload Studio as well, edited on the Upload Studio, unless I get a better computer between now and then. But yeah, it is what it is. I've just got to try and make sure that nothing gets cut out in the end, because yeah, it's pretty significant things to happen in the end. A little bit of my mistake as well, but nonetheless, it's that Lando Norris is up into P5 now on the last lap of this race. Albon down to P6 then in the end. So Norris having a little bit of a difficult day again in the McLaren. He should be really where Hamilton is, but for some reason we're still able to finish ahead of one of our title rivals. If Verstappen crosses the line, he will take the lead of the championship though. heading into Belgium, which is disappointing for us, but we've got 2 good races for us coming up in Belgium and Italy, so we should hopefully be able to try and take it back there. We should be at least quick enough as we come around the last corner to end this race, and it's going to be P4. Could be worse, could be better, but yeah, with that spin at the end, we pretty much cost any chance of getting a podium. We probably would have ended up being P3, but Verstappen ended up winning the race then. A good result for him, and yeah, we're down to P4, so we'll have to see how that went. It was a good result really in the end. We started from P16, ended up P4. We can't really complain too much, but it could have been better, I guess. That's pretty much been the story of some of these races this season in Australia as well, Bahrain. But yeah, there we go. 4 Brits in a row rather, are in the top 5. 4 Brits in the top 5, just Russell missing out there. So let's have a look at the standings as well. Gasly doing well for both Toro Rossos in the top 10, and Carlos Sainz getting some valuable points for Renault as well. But 10 points down on our teammate, 14 behind is Butler, and 27 in just Norris. So Norris, as I said before, he is starting to fall away. Hamilton up into P7 after Ferrari's poor day at the office. Renault with Carlos Sainz is in P14, and Albon getting a good result, putting them up to 12. So good day for Albon. But anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of the episode there. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a couple days' time, hopefully, for Belgium.